unsure. As I take your hand and lead you to the dance floor. As the music dies, there's something in your eyes. Costume line the silver screen, and only it's there to fight. I'm never gonna dance again. My guilty feet have got no rhythm. No, it's easy to pretend, and no, you're not a fool. Should've known better than to cheat a friend, to waste this chance that I've been given. So I'm never gonna dance again the way.
Hey, welcome to the Closing Beat, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you out there. How are you doing today? Are we missing some lights, man? Missing a few. I need all the help I can get. You know what I mean? If I could. Ooh, thank you. Thank you. The overhead one. Those take all the shadows off my old. Doesn't highlight my bald so much. Welcome to the Closing Beat. We're financial advisors here at Jazz Wealth, and thank you for joining us today. By the way, jazzwealth.com/2023. Haley will send you a 2-pager just to show you all the numbers that you need to know for this year. I got a lot of questions from people that are not familiar with the contribution limits, the tax rates, and the sort of brackets and how they break down. All kinds of other good stuff in there, your Social Security, etc. It's free. We will not market to you or spam you. We probably should, so maybe we'll do that in the future, but right now, it's free. Just have at it. And if you have any questions, of course, you know where to find us. How's the Guess the Dow going?
Good. No update today, but it is going, well, we got a big leaderboard too.
Any names you want to throw out? Or
yesterday, Victor P was leading for sure.
No.
Yeah.
The Victor P?
The Victor.
The Victor P.
Yeah.
Congratulations. All right. Today, not so much.
What's that?
He's not winning today.
If you want to come back to me at the end of the show, I can confirm
all right.
that. Sure.
Put him on the spot there. All right. Well, anyways, if you want to play jazzwealth.com/guess the Dow, the S&P has officially closed above overbought conditions, which is generally accepted as, or the technical definition that is generally accepted is more than one standard deviation above the blue line or the 50-day moving average. It's how most algorithms and everything kind of plan it out. That is where we have it there. It has been overbought every day since Memorial Day. So you would be paying more for the market than general average if you're buying now and you're saying, I'm just going to dump some money in there and get started. I do want to point out, besides Constellation Brands, if we sort by the best performers today, here we go, Northern Trust. Well, that's a big day. Earnings related, good day. AT&T, nice recovery there. We're gonna talk about that here in a second, actually. KeyBank, notice anything different just yet? US Bank, notice anything different? Well, let's go over to Citizens Financial. Not that they're all financials, but take a look. Zion Bank, Verizon, notice anything different? VFC. Like I said, the only one that doesn't count is Constellation Brands. They had some news today, new board members. So that was a little bit different. Let's go to Advanced Auto Parts. That looks a little interesting there. Elevance Health. Oh, that's a little odd. Notice it's the weak stuff. And the reason why is there's nothing left to buy in the market unless you're willing to buy the weak stuff. So your best performers here today was all the weak stuff. Money went that way, and just look for any good reason to go buy something that was at a discount because, hey, I got some money, I need to put it to work. The market's going crazy and it's really starting to bother me, and I'm gonna go put my money to work in the cheap stuff. It doesn't mean that it's the best cheap stuff, but we could also flip this up the other way around. Worst performers today. This is not 100%, but worst performers today. Omnicom. Oh, look at that. Ooh, Interpublic. Oh, what's that? Notice different? That's the strong stuff. People saying, I'll take some of the profits there and I've got this extra cash to invest, but what do I do with it? I don't know. Dexcom did well and has been doing well for a while. We got that rally that we talked about earlier in the week in the oil service and equipment manufacturers for the oil space, all doing well there. Semiconductors, of course, off to the races. KLA 10 Core off to the races. But today, a little bit of a pullback there as you look through. Not all of them in this case, but Lind, Nucor, look at Lam Research. Money is coming out. We've all had these great profits in some of these names. The market going higher has been what they call narrow, thin, right? On light air, meaning there's only a few things in the grand scheme of things. There's only a few things that are lifting the market higher. Today's action, although you may have been focused on earnings and yay, what's happening? Everybody else was saying, I need to get some money to work. Where do I want to put it to work? I can't justify it. I can't justify going to the S&P, there it is, as a whole and telling clients, investors, my spouse, that this was the best place to buy the S&P. I can't justify it. Therefore, what am I stuck with? I have to go to the discounted stuff. That's why AT&T, and by the way, Verizon recovering the whole thing, right, from the other day. So that's what's going on there if you look through it. Now, if we go over to the sectors, hopefully you can see them nicely. Yeah. REITs, very strong. Why are REITs really strong today? Well, look at the bond market. Rates consistently moving lower, meaning the price is going higher, but not like anything to write home about. It's just getting better, right? So that's obviously really helpful for the REITs. That's one of the better performers in the area there. And in fact, if we go over and look inside the sector just for today, almost everything participated. Those that did not participate, well, they already had their move. Right? So it's the same thing in the REITs sector there, that if it was already strong, it reversed. Okay? So a little bit different there. 1 month, let's go over to the 1 month. We'll track REITs here. Look, over the last 1 month, a little more excitement. This chart is just zoomed into 1 month. If I zoom out a little bit further, there you go, tracking right along the lines of interest rates, right? So if you expect interest rates to continue to bleed lower, where prices are going a little bit higher, a lot of people, like I told you yesterday, for whatever reason are predicting that was the bottom there. I don't follow close enough to know there, but you have that correlation. We haven't seen that in a while, right? So there's interesting things going on, and in addition to that, you have the earnings reports coming out. All right, I want to talk about consumer staples as well. They also gained over 1% on the day. We were just picking on them yesterday, saying, well, in reality, a lot of them haven't really participated this year. There's a couple sectors that have been kind of weak. Look at the difference a day makes. Today, basically all of them were higher. The only one, the cigarette makers there, which basically it was flat, right? Down 0.2%, not too big of a deal there. But you want to notice something? Constellation Brands. It is total of 2% of the consumer staples, big contributor here today because of that big move there. So naturally, the new board member news and all that stuff, that was exciting for them. But as a whole, it was not just one stock lifting the whole market like we've seen in tech and communication services. So good news there. If you like that sort of thing, people moving into dividends. Why would they do that? Assuming this continues, why would people move into slower, higher yielding stocks? Defense. That's another option. So we have the option of buying discounted value type stocks, or we have the option of moving to slower, less volatile, less correlated to the market, but higher yielding stocks, which is a way of playing defense. So you got to pick up on those little things there because they shift quickly. And then next thing you know, you go, whoa, what's happening? Now I'm like caught off guard. All right, Verizon and AT&T. I will continue. Remember, we talked about this yesterday. The extension, the biggest down day with the most amount of volume in the background tends to mean that the selling has exhausted. Those that panicked, those that wanted out, those that had had enough decided, I'm out, and that leaves room for the buyers, right? Where are the largest gains in a stock, a commodity index, anything? Where are the largest gains made? We talked about this. They come after the largest declines. Remember, we were using the research site and we were going through and we were saying, and by the way, you can join that if you want. It's free for clients, but if you're not a client, jazzwealth.com/research, $13 a month. You can play along with us. But anyways, we went into here and we were talking about the market and we were saying, wow, look at the average result is pretty high for the markets. But that was after periods of large drawdowns. It's no different with individual stocks as well. So for fun, since we're here, let's do this. Let's go AT&T, and we're going to say less than negative 15% because we're down about 20% in 11 days. So let's try to get a bigger audience here. Down 15% in 10 days. Is that normal? Let's look back 30 years because we can. Let's see what happens here. All right, so we've got the data, and let's go look up. Hopefully you can see it. Yeah. Let's look up. I'll leave the day in there. Let's do it. This is kind of ad-libbing here. Holy cow. All right. So AT&T, when it's down more than 15% in 10 days, doesn't happen a whole lot, but when it is, huge statistical odds in your favor in the short term. Over the next 1 day, a 61% chance of a small bounce there. Look at the 1 week and 1 month. Huge recovery gains. You all know AT&T doesn't move 7% in a week. That's not something it's going to do. 10% in a month. Those stocks don't move like that. But after a big decline, What do you have? 80% of the time after it falls 15% or more in 10 days, 80% of the time you have a gain. That's incredible. And by the way, the biggest loss, 2.8%. So look at the risk to reward. Your biggest gain is 27. I don't know where that was. We can look around here and see. 2000 was the biggest gain there. 99, 2000, 2020, 2002. Biggest gains, biggest risk to reward, and highest odds come after declines. I tell you that now because the market will find its way lower at some point, guaranteed. Right? So I can't guarantee a lot. That's Cody. Hi, Cody. So the market has its biggest gains after biggest declines. This market will find its way lower. And instead of running for the fences and going, this is horrible, I can't do it, I want you to remember this. Let's do the other one. Come on, this is just too good. Let's do another one here. So I'm going to go back. I want to reset this, actually, and make sure this does it accurately so I give the appropriate information. Let's do Verizon. I'll bet you it's the same thing. I mean, granted, they're correlated, but it is also in the same spot. Let's say the same thing, 10 days, and let's go back 30 years because we can. We'll grab that data. I already tell you this is going to be good. We're going to use the same things there. Let's grab that same thing. Oh, my God. It's even better in the short to mid-term. So after it falls 15% or more in 10 days, the next week, risk to reward's not as good as it was on AT&T because you have the potential of, the largest decline was 11%, largest gain was 18%. We had a wider spread there. Over the next 1 month, largest decline, 4%. So you have a 92% chance of making a penny, but the biggest loss was 4%. So after falling that far, it doesn't like to fall further. You could just tell the whole personality of this stock right here by looking at that. So your opportunity in these stocks, and I'm not telling you I told you so, right? We talked about this during. But your opportunity is when these big sales happen. I can tell you that now. It's up about 8% here since then. So that is actually falling in line slightly better than the 1 week. So it's ahead of schedule, basically. I could also tell you where to take some profits too, right? You said, well, the average is 6.57, median 14.36. We're up 8. Maybe that's good enough for a short-term profit if you're one of those people. If you're a longer-term person, you look at this and go, great. Whether this is the market, an individual stock, or gold, or whatever, bonds, doesn't matter. When you look at something like that, you go, well, now I got more than I was expecting to get. Maybe I just ride out the rest of it. Or if you're looking long-term, right? Oh, cool. I've got a little cushion now. I've got some room to let people decide what they're going to do. Really, really cool to see that. So I wanted to spend a moment on that. I apologize for going nuts there. NASDAQ hit new highs here today. Officially, the NASDAQ has been overbought every single day since Cinco de Mayo, which is the 5th of May. Right? But today, obviously, after hours, you can see it's a little bit lower. I believe that is Netflix. Netflix had earnings after hours, and they were a little bit lower. Yeah, 457, down about $20 there. So the after hours performance is dragging on the NASDAQ at the moment. Tesla has also reported, but that'll probably be a little more volatile during their meeting. It's essentially flat. So it's all Netflix that's dragging down the NASDAQ after hours and likely into tomorrow. Remember, the NASDAQ, the biggest gains in the NASDAQ do not come after it has had a nice run. Right? So if I tell you that now, while you're not scared and emotional, then when the markets fall, you go, maybe this time's different, but I remember him showing me the stats. Maybe I shouldn't panic this time. I'm not sure. All right, we're looking over at the Dow here, the breakout on the Dow. Most interesting index yesterday. The Dow is, well, that's going to be 8 days in a row. We said 7 yesterday, so today's got to be 8. I did a little research on this, did not have time to put something together for you. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow if we get 9 days in a row. But when the Dow is up 8 days in a row, its average gain during that time window is 4.9%. We're right on track. The people that say historical stats and sort of the receipt of the market, like what happened in the past, doesn't always apply to the future. I would agree. But 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10, or we can look it up and see how many times out of 10, right? We're going to behave the same way. We're going to have the same emotion, the same greed, the same fear. It's just going to happen that way. And that's why you see this happen in this way. Right now, if we look, this is 8 days right here to here. That is, where's the close? 3.9%. We're almost on track perfectly. Not crazy. At one point today, we were 4.3%. Man, just incredible to watch that stuff happen, man. I eat that up. Anyways, moving around here. I do want to talk about the Russell. The Russell now officially in that area. So we talked about this 2 days ago, saying it's got about 2% to go. Since then, it has done the 2%. It's done 2% almost exactly, 1.96%. So the Russell is officially in this area where you have every reason to believe that the speed to the upside might slow down a little bit. People like to look at these technical areas. And not only that, we had a decent amount of volume on here, this part here, not so much over here, but it could pull yourself into maybe a little bit of calmness there for a bit. If we look at oil, it is quiet, probably finishes that way for the rest of the week because the numbers are out. Oil inventory numbers are out. Everything is done with that one there. And I do want to point out that the VIX is teasing you again. Right? Volatility is teasing at the idea of moving higher. I think you have better odds of that moving higher than you do winning the Powerball tonight. And that's just because we played as a company here. We're going to win. I'm sorry to tell you that. So you don't have to play. Save your money. All right, let's move on here to a couple stocks in the news, then we'll get out of your way, take your questions. Carvana, I'm so happy to see them doing well here, man. I like Carvana as a company. I like what they're trying to do there. Just to me, awesome sort of idea. And they had troubles, of course, but they moved up their earnings date. That's always a good sign. Move your earnings date back. Oh, we got problems. Move your earnings date up. That means we're excited. We want to share this with you guys. We have everything dialed in. We're ahead of schedule. We want to share it with you. They got a full debt restructuring plan. The one negative, the way they're going to restructure their debt, about $350 million, is diluting you, the shareholder. They're going to do what's called a secondary offering, and that means they're going to sell shares to you in hopes that you will buy those shares so they can use the cash to get out of debt or restructure their debt, in this case, in the form of no interest, because they don't have to pay you interest. All right, Goldman Sachs here today was a slight miss. The excitement was their dividend is up, was up 10%. So that's about 25 more cents. Can I tell what that is? 250. So yeah, 25 cents. They made a few dollars actually on their Marcus loan sales. So remember they had Marcus by Goldman Sachs and they were getting into loans and they said, that's not really our core business. We don't want to do that. So they sold them off. They had to sell them at a discount, but they made a few more dollars than they expected there. Other than that, it was a slight miss. Ally Bank was a slight beat here. I found this interesting. So walking away from them for a second, it was a slight beat. They are really executing on everything that they spent a few years here getting right, digital loans and digital credit and things like that. They said auto loans, like new auto loans, that's gone down a little bit. And they said, specifically, they said auto prices are going to fall 12%. Not we predict this could possibly happen and we feel like it's a little bit. No, they said auto prices are going down 12%. Just a heads up, that may affect us overall in total interest that we can collect on our loans. It's oddly specific, don't you think? I think. JB Hunt, really cool company in the sense that it's not hard to analyze this company. It's, stuff. They move it from here to there. Sometimes they move big stuff. Sometimes they move little stuff. Sometimes they go from across the country. Sometimes they go across the state. They just put stuff in a truck and they move it. So kind of easy to understand there. Some issues with labor unions over out west there that's causing some problems. Now, JB Hunt. Thought this was really cool because we have at least 2 clients that I've talked to directly that says the competition for trucking is incredibly stiff right now, that they're doing loads and actually taking loads at cost, so not good for them. JB Hunt agrees with you. They said officially, we are in a freight recession. Customers are choosing to keep inventory levels low, meaning the end supplier. Large, bulky items like appliances, furniture, and exercise equipment, we are seeing severe weakness in that category there. We have the resources for more demand, and when the demand snaps back, we will see our margins snap back. The assumption there is the worst is behind them, that we will be shipping large things again, and people will pay a premium to get the product delivered. Remember, there was a whole destocking period where there was a lot of inventory. Then we all went out after COVID and spent the government's money that they put in our checking account, and now we're out of it, right? So we bought all the stuff, it's in our houses, and the shelves supposedly at the stores could use a little filling up again, and if the economy is doing great, then yes, let's fill them back up and let people buy more. See economics lesson there? That's what's happening with JB Hunt. hey, Jazz After Dark tonight. You want to see something cool tonight? I'm not like sugarcoating this. I had a client ask me, should I rent or should I buy a house? And you know me, like I can't just say like, dude, buy the house. What are you doing? No, I had to go through every penny of any possible transaction that could happen in buying the house, as well as the equity and stuff, and then go through the process of renting, which was easier than buying. So if you want to see, instead of like a general calculator breakdown, if you want to see us going through the nuts and bolts, the really geeky details of, should this person buy a house? It's in California, it'll be $800,000 because that's what they cost out there. And I'm going to go through literally everything to come to the exact decision, should they buy a house or not? And I guarantee you, you will learn something from that. So that'll be tonight, Jazz After Dark there. And then if you're curious about the special rebalance in the NASDAQ, I covered this a few times. I covered it on Jazz After Dark. We covered it here. Jazz After Dark, I was more detailed. I'm going to cover it again tomorrow on our little Friday on our podcast that goes out with me and Eric, and along with some other funny stuff as well. We're playing games on the podcast, right? So it's something called Two Truths and a Lie, but from a financial perspective. So last week's was about me personally. He has to guess which one I'm lying about. This week, we're going to do Two Truths and a Lie, the client version. What have clients said to me, or what's unique about a client? Like three different stories. One of them is false. The other two, you'll get a kick out of, but they, I swear to you, are true. Anyways. Yeah. All right. I'm going to try not to laugh at that one. Giovanni has got a friend bought a house in Miami. Told me his taxes on the house increased $300 more a month. Is that true? He bought in Miami. Oh, I guarantee you that's true. My taxes on my house, you could just have bought another house for what they went up. Let's just put it that way. It's out of control. With rising prices comes added costs. Plus, they changed a few things, playing sneaky over there. Doc says, makes sense. Home Depot and Lowe's and Whirlpool all say big ticket items are not selling. There you go. You put the pieces together. JB Hunt says, we're not moving the stuff. Whirlpool says, we're not selling as much. Home Depot says, we don't have as much. People don't want to buy as much. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Pandemonium says, that'd be a great topic for Jazz After Dark. I might have missed it. Sorry. MW, I'm sorry that you wasted your money on the Powerball ticket. I'm really sorry. They're here. The winner's right here. You know what I mean? So I don't know what to tell you. You can't take them back and stuff. But even if we win, I will be back tomorrow, and I'll just be happier. Cody, what do you got?
We're here tomorrow if we win?
You might not be here.
I didn't know about that.
No, man, I'm swimming in cash like Scrooge McDuck, man. I'm going to do the thing or dive into the cash.
Man, okay. I didn't know we got the money that quickly. I'm excited.
Oh, yeah, that's true. They probably wouldn't have the money. But anyways, guess the Dow.
Bia is a client. They're in first.
It's B.
So yeah, B. I thought it was B. I don't know why I doubted myself.
Nice. My clients are kicking Eric's clients, you know?
Three out of the top 5 are clients. So that's cool.
Nice. Now you can play. We don't play favorites here. Whoever wins actually wins. But you tell me where you think the Dow is going to close next week. Closest without going over wins. And congratulations, B, for being closest at the moment with only 2 days to go. Very, very nice. What do we got here? So if people aren't buying, when will prices come down? Why would prices go down, Joe? I'm with you. I want them to go down as well. But prices won't just reset. They can't, because the inflation has actually taken us to a point where now the value of that product is more. We have the money, supposedly, to buy that product at a higher price. So prices they could pull back a little, I guess, but you're not going to see like homes in your area, or for goodness sakes, golf clubs, like they're not going to get cheaper. I don't see it there personally. So I wish. You went to an open house in Vancouver. Now you guys know how to build some houses up in Canada. My Instagram at the moment is showing me home designs. I just think that's fun to look at. And every one of them that's in Canada, I love. But a townhouse for $2.3 million. Yep. Doc says the next dip we're going to go for September. Oh, he already knows the stats on that, doesn't he? Oh, the Doc's been around, man. Opinions on the old Oracle. I don't look at this one often. It's a slow and steady one. You got Cloud 2.0 is not run like other TED stocks. You want to close the gap at 110. Oh, you want it to pull back. Good. No reason there, too. And it's showing you the same thing we talked about earlier. Those that have done well are starting to see some profit taking. That profit taking might be just enough to give you a slight discount here. At least I would hope so as well. Yep. Hey, would someone still have a negative return if all your money was invested in the SPY on 1/3/2022? All right, let's go back here. Time frame, we'll say we need to go back a couple years. We're going to go with the day. And what was our price there? 1/3. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're like 479.88, and we're still sitting at 455. Yeah, we haven't hit new highs yet. That's all you're asking there. Yeah. Oh yeah. I learned from that's nice. You think the Qs are? Oh, you're talking to Doc. You think the Qs are going to be flat, Doc, or is it going to pull back for you? Yeah. Jamie, I was almost going to say Family Guy, but I figure if I said Scrooge McDuck, that'd put me, you'd figure my age out a little bit. But I have seen the Family Guy one where he jumps into the coins, and it does not go so well. I have been a Family Guy fan. Yeah. You want me to give you my Powerball numbers so you don't get the same numbers? Nah, I ain't doing that. And I got to share it with you when we win. Not having that, because you would just go get the same number. If you know I have the winner, you'd get the same numbers. It's kind of like that. Remember LifeLock guy? The LifeLock, you know the company LifeLock? So the company LifeLock, the CEO said, we're so believing in our product that truck back there that I'm going to let drive around, that's my social security number. He just gave it to everybody. Whoa. And his identity was stolen like 15 times.
Oh,
it didn't work.
That's tough.
He was so confident, but no, sadly, it didn't work. All right, enough small talk there. I'm going to wrap it up and get out of here. Jazz After Dark tonight. If you want to see, should you buy a house or rent a house, if you're maybe a younger person or something, I'm going to go through every single detail, and you might be kind of surprised to see what happens there. I know I was surprised myself. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
Why should you choose Jazz Wealth as your retirement or long-term investing service? Our portfolios are managed by us, not some faceless mutual fund manager. Our private classes will teach you everything about investing and getting your dough straight. Best of all, our fiduciary standard means your best interest comes before ours.